And that there is exactly the kind of Frodo and Sam Tinder brotherhood that I just crave in a good story. Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we are going to be taking a fully spoilery look at Kaiju number 8, episode 7. The one where the fighting really gets started in earnest. Now, there will be spoilers for this episode, so if you don't want any spoilers, I'm going to give you a chance to click away now by speaking more slowly and mentioning that below the video there are some links to my books, Flying Sparks, Dragons, Aliens, and Things That Go Boomp in the Night. This is the chapter where the fighting really does get started in earnest. We see the first major showdown between Kaijus number 8 and Kaiju number 9. The animation was amazing. The animation was as good as it is feasibly possible for a studio to make animation, and it still fell short of what my imagination was hoping for after reading the still frames of the manga. And that is just the cold reality of imagination versus reality. No matter how good the thing is, it can't be so good that the reality of the situation will be a slight disappointment after what we wanted in our imagination. This is because in your imagination, you don't really have a clear image of what you want, of what you expect. What you have is a bundle of hopeful emotions coloring your expectations. You want an emotional response from what you are given. And your imagination of that emotional response is always going to be more enjoyable. Anticipation is more enjoyable than consumption. So, we got the best anime that we could got. I am thrilled. I really enjoyed it when Kaiju number 8 punched Kaiju number 9's head off, protecting Reno. It was good. It was really good. But it wasn't quite what I was expecting. The emotional drama between the characters, however, spot on. Fully satisfactory. So, in this episode, we get what I think is going to be the core element of the show, expressed in the classic old quote, "Bare is the back without a brother behind it." In this episode, we see that bond of brothers, Frodo and Sam-like relationship that Reno and Kafka have already built for themselves, and that Reno and Aiharu are beginning to build for themselves. We also seen it between Kafka and Kokoru. They rely on each other, they take care of each other. We see it when Kafka risks everything just in a momentary decision to run off just to be sure that Reno and Aiharu are okay. He risks the defense force turning on him, which happens at the end of the episode. He risks fighting Kaiju number 9, this powerful, mysterious Kaiju. And he doesn't even think twice about it. And he is holding out that example to both Reno, who looks at him directly and says, "I want that," and to Aiharu, who is looking at it through Reno. And there's just that moment when Kafka, in his Kaiju number 8 form, this ebony black, jet black Kaiju with a demonic skull-like face, just tenderly bends down and scoops up Reno to move him out of the way of danger. And you see it in Aiharu when he sets his own pride aside and just realizes that all he wants in that moment is to protect his friend. And it doesn't have to be him, he just wants his friend safe. He's choking down his well-established pride and saying, "I just want my brother to be safe, my friend." And this, I think, is Matsumoto. Now, for a lot of creators, the concept of write what you want to see, create what you want to see is very real. So I don't know if Matsumoto is aware of what he's doing here, but Matsumoto is serving a very underserved audience, especially in the West. Just pure, raw, heavily emotional, tactile friendship between men This masculine friendship is something that there is a huge market for. Band of Brothers was a huge series. The scene between Aragorn and Boromir in Lord of the Rings, Frodo and Sam's relationship. These intensely emotional relationships between men are just rare in modern media. It's rare when they're done well. And whether Matsumoto deliberately chose to make that a core support of the anime, or whether that is just what Matsumoto wanted to see, so Matsumoto created it, is hard to say, but that is what we're looking at here. The Aragorn and Boromir scene where Aragorn reaches down and kisses Boromir. The scene in Lord of the Rings where Frodo says, "I can't carry the ring, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you." We get that, so much of that just concentrated in this scene with Kaiju number 9 tearing apart Reno and Aharu, and Kaiju number 8 just coming in and flattening him like the hero that he is. And that is what I just love to see. Now, when Lucy Maud Montgomery wrote her sort of like semi-autobiography about a young authoress learning to write, she has the wise old mentor figure give the author this statement: "Don't worry about being realistic. A pine wood is every bit as realistic as a pigsty and a much nicer place to think about." So that's kind of a paraphrase. But the point is that there has been a leaning towards saying that if something is only realistic if it's dark and gritty, if it's unpleasant. It's only realistic if you're staring at and focusing on the most unpleasant, revolting aspects of human nature. But Matsumoto chose the Lucy Maud Montgomery path. In this story, the hero that we choose to focus on is the one who, without a thought for his own safety, steps in the path of 2 bullets to protect the 2 people who are 100% going to attack him a few seconds earlier. Because he's a hero, because that's what the heroes do. It's very much a My Hero Academia type hero. It's the Superman, the ultimate Boy Scout, and it's written so well that it's not cringe. Something like that can easily be cringe, but it's not, because Matsumoto has focused so well on building up his ability to do all of the fundamental elements of storytelling, of world building. It's not cringe because it's well done, and it's something that people want to see. Again, bare is the back without a brother behind it. Matsumoto knows that, and Matsumoto shows us a story of the band of brothers who got each other's backs. But what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Were you fully satisfied by the animation in this episode, or were you too let down by your imaginations and your anticipation? And what did you think of the storytelling? Leave a comment below telling me what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers.
Drake McCarty's leg was shattered, deep in the wilderness. As the flash flood closed over him, something alien pulled him from the waters. A military base that shouldn't exist. An ancient warrior with secrets of his own. Drake returns to his family with a whole leg and the burden of a secret he doesn't understand. In the forest around them, someone is watching, and something followed him home. Flying Sparks. 90,000 words of science fantasy adventure. The first novel in the Dying Embers universe is now available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo by Rakuten, Google Play Books, and from the author as a signed copy. Get your copy now, and step into a world where dragons walk the forest, aliens lurk on the mountain, and things go boomp in the night.
Escape into another world with the writings of author Betty Adams. 2 worlds, one of utter absurdity, one of dramatic tension, both alike in aliens absolutely astounded by human behavior. Humans are weird, short, absurd science fiction stories. Flying sparks, dragons, aliens, and things that go boomp in the night.
Books available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo by Rakuten, Google Play Books, and at authorBettyAdams.com for a signed copy.